All right, hello. Welcome to my channel, My Season Life with Mary Golf. We have a special guest today joining you. Well, actually the second time if you guys watched our country video. This is my hubby,
Keith.
Keith.
Call me whatever, baby.
Okay, Keith for short. So today we are going to be talking about our particular life or lifestyle as a married couple. Many of you might have already watched my interview on the Exodus Summit YouTube channel with Stephanie Perry and Roshida Dowe. And the video was called Retiring to Panama Without My Spouse. Yes. So we're going to talk about that today. If you're not familiar with my channel is all about encouraging, motivating, and supporting Black women over 50 to live your best life. So if this is something that you're interested in, please like and subscribe. Okay, so let's get into the conversation. Okay, so let's talk about the title, Retiring to Panama Without Your Spouse. So when you first saw that title, tell me how you felt about that, Keith.
It caught me off guard. It was like, I love your videos. I was looking at your videos. And then when I saw that title, it was like the last video you just posted. And then like, where did this come from? Like, without your spouse, I'm here. And I actually, as we do, if I have something to talk to you about, I'll bring it to your attention. And we sat down for quite a while and we discussed it, and come to find out a lot of things, and you informed me about a lot of things, and I was like, okay, I feel better now because you told me, a lot, you informed me. That was the thing, and we talked about it.
Okay.
So, and I think that's the key, discussion, the words you use, how, if you feel a certain way, be able to express yourself. Just
Right.
watch your tone and watch your language is important, because I catch myself a lot of times, the old military, whatever catches, language. So
Okay, so
that's
the
where
title was
it was catchy.
The title was
Very
catchy.
catchy.
It's a little shocking.
But
so
yes.
we wanted to come on and tell you how we got here.
Thank you.
But let's talk a little bit about our background. We're gonna go back just a little bit, just to talk about how our marriage was working. We both had jobs that involved traveling.
Yes.
So throughout our marriage, we're used to traveling, outside for work. So that's something that we've always done. We've never lived in, I want to say we never lived in different countries, but when we were in Saipan, remember we used to travel back and forth to the States at different times?
Correct.
Yes, so we were used to traveling, spending some time apart in our marriage, which in my opinion, I think is healthy. I don't think it's unhealthy. If you're, like you mentioned, we have good communication, then that's healthy. That has worked for us. How did you feel, when we were, traveling apart, for our marriage? How do you think, did that help us, or did that make it stronger, or how do you feel about that?
For me, at times it is stressful. It is not an easy thing that most people, including myself, I would say is easy or lightly, but you do have a chance to take a deep breath and realize what's important. And you might have a lot of things going on in your life, which we all do, that, if you keep your wits about yourself, your strength, keep, I could say prayed up, because, that's number one. But if you have something that you're dealing with during that time, I think it'd be more clarity when you find a nice place to relax your brain and address that issue, whatever it is. And I think that gives you that it gives you that chance, because some
Yeah.
people don't have those chances.
Yeah, the time apart.
The
gives
time
you
apart will give you
that time.
if you take advantage of
Right,
it.
give you that
Yes.
chance to think about it and, you know, get your thoughts together.
Oh yeah,
I guess before you address your spouse.
there you go.
Okay, so let's move a little forward
Mhm.
and talk about how did Panama get on the radar for us? How did we end up here in Panama?
How did we end up in the Panama?
How did I
That's
end up
a
in
good one.
Panama?
Well,
How did we both? I mean, because we're both here now.
okay.
Okay, so do you remember
Mhm.
years ago, way before we retired,
Correct.
there was this magazine, I think it was online, called
Mhm.
internationalliving.com.
International Living.
Yeah, and I was always on there, you know,
Always.
thinking about retirement in the future. Because we've done so much traveling in our
Okay.
lifetime, so we always kind of like
That
wanted
was
to
a good
live.
question in there now.
I know, I know. We've always kind of wanted to live overseas.
Well, there you
right?
go. Okay, that's how we ended up in Panama then. So you answered it.
No, we found out about Panama because there was
Okay.
like a top 10 for countries, like the top 10 countries to retire, right?
Once again, is there a question in there? There's a
Okay.
question. Go ahead, keep talking, baby.
Okay.
I want to ask a question.
Do you have a question?
No, I'm gonna answer right quick because you went over it.
My question.
How did we end up?
My question is, how do we end up in Panama? And I'm trying to say that Panama came on my
See?
radar. Okay,
Thank
let me
you.
talk about my radar.
All right.
It came on my radar through
Thank you.
International Living, and
one
it
of
was
your
like
places.
the top 10 countries. You're
There
right.
you go.
It was one of my places to check out. Okay, that's how it came on my radar.
Excuse me.
And so we ended up
Mhm.
visiting Panama for the
Yes,
first time.
for the first
We had
time.
planned to visit years ago,
That's correct.
right? And I'm trying to think, why did we not visit years ago?
There's always something coming up. Always something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important too.
Okay.
Be flexible.
Yeah. Okay,
Very
right,
flexible.
Right. Be flexible in your plans.
Mm-hmm.
So we came out here in 2020.
Maybe 2021.
2021
Very
for,
short,
for our
okay.
anniversary.
Yep, 2021.
Yeah, I had
October.
attended the Exodus Summit virtual summit in
Mhm.
September 21, and we came out here like a month after that for our anniversary. We came to
Correct.
Panama.
Mhm.
And one thing I also want to say is that we were going to stay in the city, and we also were going to spend some time in the beach. Remember that?
Oh,
And the thing was, with the beach experience, we had heard that was like the place to be, right? We had heard that, you know, through expat groups, this was like the place to be. So tell them about our experience when we came to Panama and we went to the beach.
okay. I'm glad you went all over that and you informed them. Now, remember, in every relationship and every couple, there's always two stories, which two stories to understand. Both could be true, but she takes it one because remember, you did a lot of research, which you do.
Yeah.
You do a lot of planning, which you do. Okay. With that, a lot of the things that Panama, how did we ended up in Panama? As our time passed, Panama was always somewhere we wanted to come, always somewhere we wanted to visit. And overseas travel has always been part of our, you know, marriage and relationship, and there's some DNA.
Yeah.
It was built in us, work, as we say. So,
Yeah.
with that said, it was just part of the world we decided to go to at any given chance that
Right.
was taken. And it happened to be, we came 2021 finally, and in the meantime, it was a transition for us, like what we're gonna do next, because we sat down and always plan and talk. And
Yeah, so let me know how you felt about the beach.
I mean, at that time, okay, I've always liked this area. I never really knew much about it to say this is where I want to live though.
Right.
So I cannot answer based on back at that time the way I feel now. So if I'm answering back then, that's what I'm
You're
saying.
answering back there.
Yeah, my answer is back there where I liked it. It was a good place to relax. The culture is nice. The environment. I mean, I'm always environmental conscious. You know, weather conscious. So you know, being safe and is whatever, you know, the time gives you. So I liked it. I have no negative side of it.
Right. Because we cut our beach trip short.
Yeah.
Remember that?
We cut the what?
The beach trip. We didn't stay. We were supposed to stay at the beach for, I'm not sure if it was a whole week.
Oh, that was because of the area, though.
Because we cut that short.
Oh yeah, where we were living when we first arrived.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was because of the area.
No, I think it was the entire experience. It wasn't too much to the area.
It was again the area.
Yeah.
It wasn't what
So-
you expected. So we decided to come to the city and check the city out.
Yeah.
And utilize
Yeah.
that remainder of the time. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, because the beach.
I forgot about the beach.
Yeah.
I really did.
The beach we had heard was the place to be, so we had this extended stay.
Yeah,
set
don't
up.
overstay somewhere. If you're not comfortable, you know me, I'll leave.
Yeah, so
Don't run away, just leave.
Yeah, so we just kind of like
Adjusted
our plans.
Adjusted the plans. So don't
Not
get
that
confused.
not that we did not like the beach, we just found it not to be for us.
Don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
we found it not to be for us, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So so we ended up back in the city.
Enjoy.
Still checking things out.
Correct.
And then we ended up going back to our home.
Correct.
And at that time, we were thinking about, should we sell or should we not sell?
That is correct.
So we were having plenty of conversations about that. And
Okay.
did you want to go? Do you have something you want to say?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
go
a
ahead.
big. That was probably. Now we're coming into the stressful time. Anytime you move, wow, you better have your good communication down because, whew. Okay, I'm gonna talk as a man, gentlemen. When you plan to move, it is even a good move. A good move is stressful. Even when you know where you're going. You're going somewhere, even if you know where you're going, you've been there before. Moving is not a likely thing to take because you want to make sure it's a good time to get rid of things you never need, get rid of those material items, clean out the house, only pack those necessities, a good time to sell, I'm a buyer.
Here's the thing.
It's stressful.
Moving, like you said, it's stressful, but we have done it in our marriage. How many moves have we had? We've moved like every 4 to 5 years. I mean,
Not comparing them.
Due to relocation,
Yes.
finding new positions. So even though we've done it multiple times, it's moving is
Different
like
every time.
I think moving, they said, is like the most stressful thing that you do.
I really
Yeah. So
do a couple of this.
we're kind of experts, but it's still
We had a lot of help. We knew.
it's still stressful.
Now you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know if you should take this, leave that.
I know,
Oh, God.
and we always end up with too much stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
okay, so we sold the house.
Okay.
And how do we end up here?
Okay. So remember, we just took a trip. We agreed and we decided to sell the house. So, but in the meantime, she's having her own thoughts about. Okay, we're going back to Panama. Really? That's what you said. That's what we're going to stick to.
Yeah.
She was under depression, and I was undecided. Let's say that I was very undecided.
I agree.
I didn't know how to tell her. Really, I didn't want to tell her.
Yeah.
But one thing about it is, in the meantime, when you made it clear that you wanted to go there, I said, "I'll tell you what, go there, get settled. Let me go back. Let me figure some things out about if I want to, move here and live permanently, or is this going to be a short time stay?"
Right. And you helped me, you
Got you
brought me here, with my
Got
bags,
you settled,
got me settled in my apartment.
There
It wasn't
you
like
go.
you sent me to Panama.
Yeah.
No, you came here to Panama with me to make sure I was settled in my
There you
apartment.
go.
You made sure things were okay. So you helped me get settled.
And in the meantime of that move, we talked, and I expressed that, and you supported it, and I supported you, and
your decision at that time, you were undecided about Panama, and then we decided that I said, okay, well, I'm going to hang out here for a while.
that is true.
And you said okay.
Okay.
Because I was in a safe apartment, I had security, I had met some girls.
That big world, yep,
So
you did.
so you were okay with that. So you're like, okay, she's safe, so I'm gonna go back to the States and do what?
Well, when I went back to the States, I really, like I said, being undecided, I've always wanted to do or have certain things, and I went to an area that we currently live out in Georgia, and I looked around. I've always heard about this area having, what a Georgia is. So I'm just there, and one thing led to another. I was looking around. I could never find what was satisfying me, what fit my interests. But on one of the trips, I actually rode by this property, and as this property just popped up right in front of my face, and I decided to inquire about it. When I inquired about it, I felt good about it, and I was like, wow. Now I got to bring this and mention it to you and talk to you about it, and that really brought out, well, I didn't know you was going to do that, and I was like, well, I didn't know I was going to do it neither. But I feel good about this, so that's what
because like you were saying, he was undecided about Panama, but I didn't know that he was still, looking for property or what.
Correct.
I thought we were going, once we sold our home,
we was going to move.
We were going to be moving, and just hang out in Panama until we figured it out. So you went and saw some property in Georgia, and being in the right time at the right place, brought it back to my attention. I'm like, whoa, we just sold our home. What do you mean?
Yeah, that was
it's like, this wasn't in our plan. What are you talking? What are you talking about? So those were some hard discussions,
Oh yeah.
And we were like knocking heads, because I'm like, wait a minute. We said
that was
we were going to do this.
That's real.
So it took multiple conversations.
Multiple. Yeah, we don't want to get it up right now, but it was good though.
It was
a tester.
We had
big
some
tester.
We had some hard conversations because I kind of felt that you kind of went against our plan.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I felt he literally changed his mind and went against our plan. So, go ahead.
Okay. Remember, she said plan, and that's a big thing. And now I can talk to couples again. Men, gentlemen, you got to have a plan. You got to have that security.
Absolutely.
And but she was secure in one way, uncertain in others.
Right.
Now, security is very important. And I think we've always felt secure, but the thing was like, wait a minute, we got to talk about this. But I said, at least let me do this, and then I will promise we can have both. And I think what sold you, I don't know. I'm just say what I think I said, and then you can confer with it or make it adjust it. I'm gonna say when I said, babe, we can have both the two worlds. We have a place in the States. We have a place there. You like traveling. When you go on to travel, I have somewhere to go. So she said, okay. I think that's when you said, okay. I kind of think. So now I'm just getting there where I think that's what happened.
Well,
Okay,
it was lots of things. It was that, it was our communication, and then I started thinking, because you were so excited about the property and so excited about it, and I was excited about being here in Panama and being able to continue with my travels, because I love to travel.
I ain't sitting on appointment while you're leaving. Go ahead.
And so I said, you know what? Why can't we both have what we want?
Thank you.
There is no reason, and I told him, I said, I don't want you to be unhappy, and I know you don't want me to be unhappy. Happy wife, happy life, right? So I was like,
but that's true.
We both can be happy. There's no reason we should both have to give up our dreams or whatever. We can make this work out.
Yes.
So we decided we were gonna give it a go and try to make it work out. And I think talking about it was good, right?
Very much.
But then when the reality set in and it was actually happening,
There you go, your other strain.
And I was over here and you were over there.
Yep.
I mean, there might have been times where we didn't like the distance, the being apart. So then that became another stressor.
Yes.
So we're on the other side now, but we want to be real to you, to couples that are thinking about maybe having a long distance relationship or, not being in the same place at the same time. communication, like you said, is extremely important, but also know that it's not going to be easy. This wasn't some, happy-go-lucky time. I mean, we had a lot of difficult times during our first year doing this. I mean, it was very stressful, very stressful. You want to talk about that, or?
I mean, individually, I could tell because of the distance, because this is the first time I think we need to back up to our son, because when we have a child leave like that, it kind of. Okay. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, we're empty nesters.
There you go.
Yeah, we're empty.
I have to throw that in there
because
because
no, that's good. We're dealing with a lot of emotions.
Yeah, we have a lot of transitions going on. Let's say that.
A lot of transitions, being empty nesters, selling what we thought was our dream home. Okay, letting that go.
Every home is a dream home.
Every home is a dream home. We had so many homes. Yes.
Yeah.
Letting that go.
Yeah.
Being in a foreign country, with you, at the time back in the States, you with the big property trying to get that settled. So I'm just saying. So it was a lot of stressors.
Right? Oh yeah, combination. That's
a lot of life stressors, I guess, or whatever. Yeah.
Self-induced sometimes.
Okay.
A lot of them do.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have any self-induced stressors.
Okay. Well, I did.
Yeah.
I self-induced some things because as we continue talking about things, sometimes we could say every word is good, but to implement those
right.
I don't know. It's just how you can take things and deal with things and then deal individually with something and then support each other when dealing with those things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might not understand, you think you do, but I just try to do the best I can and talk to you about it and then make a decision. And that's it. I just try to make a decision. Because you always say, well, make a choice, make a decision. Because, we want to be what we call the leaders. And the leader has to make sometimes choice decisions and hard decisions that sometimes others don't like, don't agree, don't feel like it's good for them. But as in a whole, I think we are really better now than a lot of the things we had to deal with could have, been very detrimental.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, even though our communication might not have always been pleasant, we were still communicating.
Correct.
So, I mean, there might have been some times where, you were really acting out.
Okay.
And I had to block, him a few times because he was really acting out.
Oh, you mean the phone calls? Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm about to say.
Yes, you were.
Give me a drink.
But we got on the other side, and I think the biggest thing about us is that we support each other. We've communicated, and like you said earlier, we kind of right now we have the best of both worlds. We have our country estate. I'm sure if you haven't seen my video, we did a video on our country estate. Watch that. And we have our life here in Panama. So I want to put this out there. This might not work for everybody. We're not trying to change nobody's mind or whatever. We're letting you know
it can work.
Yes, that it can work. That
can work.
You can, if you have two mature people.
There you go.
Two honest conversations, letting people know what you like and what you don't like and what you can accept and what you don't accept. Put all the expectations out there. Have those hard conversations. Then, that you're human. That you can, make these lifestyle changes, and you can, have the best of both worlds.
And that's the key. That is the key to mostly every. Can I speak about, since I've been here with you and some of the people?
Let's talk about that.
Because I really want to make sure.
I want you to talk about how do you feel, because this is.
What helped me?
Yeah, he's been in Panama for about a week. Right?
This trip?
Yeah, this trip. This is what, your fourth or fifth trip?
This is my fourth or
Fourth,
fifth. I don't know. I ain't
I
keeping
don't
count,
know.
but
Yeah, I
somewhere
know.
around
Anyway,
there.
4th or 5th trip.
First time being on camera, though. Okay, go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
So no, that's good.
Yeah.
So we hung out with some of my friends. So go ahead and talk
Great.
to them
Well,
about
I just
that.
want to make sure we acknowledge that from my perspective, that made me feel good when she did. Always, she shared a lot of trips, pictures, conversations, and names that I said, oh, I know so and so. I didn't never meet them or whatever at that time, but recently on this trip, I did meet some very close friends she's been traveling and communicate with, and I got to meet the spouses, and we just had a wonderful time. But in the meantime, what I was trying to say was, you have been socializing.
Yes.
And
yes.
I know that's a big and very much a very important part of retirement.
Yes.
Socializing, being in a social group, and being with people the same, like-minded, getting together, planning, hanging out. It's almost like a rejuvenation of yourself. So it gives you a lot of energy.
Yes.
It helps. It really helps.
Yeah.
Because on many levels. So with that said, I felt good. It helped me to know that she was more engaging and traveling and utilizing her talents and wanting to do these things, having freedom, and I always wanted to be happy. So the thing about that, she saw that I was supporting that, even though I didn't like a lot of things. I'm not going to sit here and say I enjoyed all of this, enjoyed all of that. That's not the issue. But when she is safe and she's secured, I feel better. But when I cannot find that she's safe from where she's at, I go berserk, and she knows it. And don't use it against you, but in a good way, hey, you get to miss those things, and they're like, babe, I can't wait to see you again. And well, I'm going to so and so. You every time I turn around, you go on a trip, and I'm like, you just got off one. But I was like, okay, that's what you said you're going to do, so I have to, bite the bullet. But yeah, that's why I wanted to share that. I want to make sure that even during this journey, during this time, you're utilizing each other's support. Utilize that support. Utilize it to the point where we keep going back to talking, sharing ideas. Don't over-evaluate things.
Right.
It's very easy to do.
Right.
It's very easy to do.
So I just want to say, like this season, you have different seasons, I think, of your marriages and of your life. And at this season, we're both retired.
Correct.
We're wanting to do things that make us happy,
Yeah.
And everyone should be able to do that. People say, oh, marriage is a compromise, and you gotta, give up this, you gotta give. Yeah, sometimes maybe you do, but I think I look at it as, yes, you're individual people, and we are two individual people. We have our individual likes and dislikes. I am more of a social person. I love to travel. I love to explore. I love to meet other people. If you saw our other video, you know that, Keith is an avid hunter. He can spend days in the woods.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
The way she said it. Listen.
Okay, maybe not. Can't you spend days in the woods?
I can.
Okay, see? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You can spend days in the woods.
I get out there and get lost or something.
You can spend days in the woods and not talk to anybody and be very happy.
True. Very happy.
So, okay.
I like my elbow room.
Right. So we...
But go ahead.
We appreciate those differences, and we don't have to clash with those differences. We acknowledge those differences, and we make those work in our marriage.
Correct.
So that's what I wanted to say. You don't have to change somebody into you, because that ain't gonna work. Because you cannot make somebody move abroad. You cannot make somebody do anything. You have to come together and decide what's best for your family. So, for us right now, go ahead.
I want to say something about
sure.
that. I got certain sayings about everything.
Yeah.
You know, we always have these cliches of saying and what they mean. Well, how do those sayings affect you? And my one thing is, my job is not to make you happy. And the reason is
Your job is not to make me happy?
Not to make you happy. Your job, your
my job is to make me happy.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is not my job.
I agree.
Because
what is your job?
My job is to make sure you're secure.
Okay.
Happiness comes individual.
Inside. Right.
You do things that keep you, I can keep you satisfied and secure, but not to make you happy. Because if you're trying to make somebody else happy, what are you doing for yourself?
You're not making yourself
You're not
happy.
making yourself happy. You don't have time. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough of anything to keep somebody happy, because that becomes too dependent.
Yes. And you end up losing yourself.
Wow.
Because if you're only thinking about...
You don't understand that one.
Yes.
You figure it out. Hopefully you figure it out quick.
If you're only thinking about making the other person happy, then you are losing yourself.
Yes.
Now, we're not saying go out there and be selfish, don't think about the person.
No, I'm not saying that.
We're not saying that at all.
No.
But we're saying that happiness comes from within.
Correct. Like when you go work out, you watch what you eat, you make sure you take care of yourself, your medical,
right.
And then when that person need your support, then you come in, then you support, then you be there, then they know you got your back.
Right.
So, but that's what I want to get at.
Okay, no, I appreciate that.
That's a big key.
That's good.
And that helps your relationship.
Yes.
In all forms.
It does, because if you're not happy with yourself,
the other person will feel it.
They're gonna feel it. You're not gonna make your spouse happy. Not at all.
Not at all.
So is there anything else we want to talk about right now? This will probably be first of many videos.
And she'll have me back. You don't have me back.
I think you were a pretty good guest.
Okay.
So we just wanted to introduce ourselves.
Yes.
Introduce you.
I am.
And just talk about the video the interview, retiring in Panama without your spouse. Wanted to explain that, because that doesn't, necessarily mean, it doesn't mean that, boom, I don't have a spouse and I'm just here in Panama.
Don't think you're single now. Don't think that, but that's good.
I'm just in Panama, just doing whatever I want with no communication. That's not how that's not how this is working. So we just wanted to clarify that. This was working for us. We'll keep you updated.
Thank you.
On any changes or any other major decisions that we decide to make, and how we are navigating our way through this, because this is not some one-time conversation. We have conversations about this very often.
Yes.
Very often, because it's constantly, I don't want to say changing, we're constantly making adjustments when needed, right?
Just going with the flow type. Going with the flow.
Yeah. So, with that being said, thank you for watching this video, My Season of Life with Mary Goff. And if you don't know, we talked about me traveling. I'm going to be doing a separate video, but check out my website, travelingwithmary.com. I have a group trip that I am hosting for May 2024. We're going to Greece, Italy, and Spain.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'll be there hopefully.
So, anyway,
save my ticket.
Click on the link. It will be in the description. To register, you get a really good bonus if you register before the end of the month. Then you have 30 days to pay your deposit before you get $200 off the cruise. So anyway, that's all I want to say about that. If you like this content, or if you've had any questions that you want to see us answer about our marriage,
please subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. Put them in the comments, and then maybe the next time we might do a video where we talk to people live. Look at his face.
Sorry.
And answer questions live. Because we've had some feedback. Yeah, we've had positive feedback. We've had some negative feedback as well. So we might address those particular questions. You know what? That's what we'll do the next video. Yeah, we'll address those negative questions that we've had. But anyway, As he's sitting up, that means he's ready to go, y'all. So, thank you so much. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you, honey, for being here.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you for being here. You did good.
I did.
Didn't you do good? Let me know in the comments if you think you did good.
All right.
Until the next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we
See you
will
next time.
see you soon. All right. Bye.
All right. Is that bad? That's bad. That's better.
I think that's better. Did you like the black hat?
No, that didn't make no difference, really. I just want to see the difference, really, honestly.
Okay.
But it's a good thing. But you ready? I'm ready. Let's do this.